So on the Twitters following the Eagles beating the pants off of the 49ers, who were down to their fourth string quarterback in Josh Johnson. My goodness, I didn't know Josh Johnson was still in the league. Turns out Josh Johnson's been in the league 15 years, and I didn't even notice. Wow. We want to talk about the rise of black quarterback. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Got the fourth string collecting that check like Chase Daniel. Yeah, I said it. Now, Jalen Hurts goes and wins the NFC Championship, brings Philadelphia Eagles back to the Super Bowl, and that's a wild story because he's got a head coach that didn't feel like he could do a press conference, let alone coach a football team at the start of this thing, after they blew up the entire franchise and basically rebuilt it with a guy that not a lot of people were in on, myself included, in Jalen Hurts. And that story is remarkable because I watched him get pulled at halftime in the national championship game. Now, I know guys get benched all the time. Spencer Rattler among them, I can keep going down the list. But you got to have a special kind of self-confidence to get the hook at halftime of the national championship game, watch the backup come in and complete one of the best and most improbable passes to win the national championship game in national championship history, and then stay on the team. And not just stay on the team long enough and be in a good enough position with the coach and with the program to be able to come off the bench when the dude that came off the bench to replace you gets his ankle hurt, and you got to go win the SEC championship with less than 5 to play against the University of Georgia. Jalen Hurts built a little bit differently, y'all. Like, that's what I learned. Now, he went to Oklahoma after that because Nick Saban loved him enough to say, hey, I understand you don't hate Alabama. We love Alabama. You love Alabama. What we want to know is who has the best offense and can we get you there? And Jalen said Oklahoma. He said, cool, let's see if we can't get you to Oklahoma. And Lincoln Riley said, bet, because I just lost Kyler Murray. I need a quarterback. Jalen Hurts shows up January 2019. And what's funny about that to me is he was very clear about his allegiance, or at least what I think of as his allegiance to Alabama. And then his play at Oklahoma had people thinking differently, because you could see in this game against UCLA, we got to see what he was really about wearing that number 1. But as the season went on, I had my own reservations. I watched the man not be able to throw a football downfield to his left. I charted the games. I could show it. Doing a local radio show, used to do like 3 seconds about Oklahoma every single time. And I would hammer this because it felt like he was holding the ball too long. Felt like he was turning himself into the best running back threat as opposed to handing the ball to a running back. Turns out that dude leads Oklahoma not just to a Big 12 championship, not just to a college football playoff berth, but leads them in the best comeback of my lifetime. OU Baylor 2019, down 25. Nick Bonito makes it so, and they march back and win a game they absolutely had to win. One of the most memorable experiences of my life as an OU fan, and I'll never forget that. Goes and becomes a Heisman runner-up, basically on the Max Duggan tip of, we really love this guy, and we would like to see him win it if at all possible. It wasn't because, well, Joe Burrow was that dude, and Joe Burrow continues to be that dude. So now we're here at a moment when Jalen Hurts is going to be playing against Patrick LaVon Mahomes, where we got 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. And I asked, who gets to claim him? Oklahoma or Alabama? To which y'all had so much to say. So I had to actually sit here and give my brain to this and walk around in it, basically charting out my last year working something like a beat writer at Oklahoma, which was his only year at Oklahoma. Now, I can walk through just how Oklahoma did not bench Jalen Hurts, even when it felt like they could. And that means a lot more knowing that Riley benched a guy he brought in Spencer Rattler for another guy in Caleb Williams. And that turned out to be the right move, but still, he had never done it before then. And Jalen Hurts is kind of the proof that he was never gonna, right? Like there were moments where it's like, yo, Lincoln, really? You still doing this? Yes, he's still doing this. And then we could say that, at Alabama, they put you on the shelf, dog. They put you on the shelf for the left-handed dude from Hawaii. How you really feel? You from Texas, right? You got a little chip on your shoulder. Never let that show. It's always purported himself with a level of, maturity that, frankly, dudes twice his age don't have. As much as people want to be enamored by how much this man squats, you should be more enamored with how he remains composed throughout all of this. All of this. And I mean that because there are people, myself included, who didn't think he could do this. And by this, I mean lead a team to the Super Bowl. And he has done that while also being in the conversation for the most valuable player in the league award, which for me is still the best MVP award in the sport. It means that much. I also know he graduated from the University of Alabama. He enrolled in class as a grad student in Oklahoma, but he did not graduate with a degree from the University of Oklahoma. And the definition of alumni says, did you or did you not come away with a degree? It's actually a fact that I kind of want to raise to you, because in this era of grad transfers and in this era of rampant transfers, and basically since the inception of the 3-year rule for the NFL, there are a lot of guys that you just think graduated from whatever university, because frankly, you graduated from whatever university. You just think that's part of the course. They went to school on tuition waiver. Yeah, of course they graduated. Nah, not necessarily. Jalen Hurts graduated from the University of Alabama, didn't graduate from Oklahoma because he didn't need to. He started prepping for the draft, and seeing as the draft is held in April and you're working for the draft from January to April, school kind of gets in the way of your day job, which gives me back to another conversation I have with you all the time, which is say, you don't go to college to get a degree. You go to college to get a job. My degrees are in exercise science, English, and professional writing. Nowhere in there does it say broadcast journalism. Nowhere in there does it say film and TV. It's just what I needed to do to get into the door so that somebody else could approve my hiring. And this actually does come into play, especially when you want to work at places of higher learning, even as a football coach. I'll give you another example. There's this head coach at the University of Colorado who was the head coach at Jackson State, who spent 4 years at Florida State University, was an All-American, won Thorpe Award, was a top 10 pick in the 1989 NFL draft. His name is Deion Primetime Sanders. He did not graduate college until August 2020. Even going through commencement, he got the chance to be on the podium to tell everybody how he really felt about that. And one of the things he kept bringing up was, my daughter beat me to this. One of my sons is probably going to beat me to this, but I got mine. And he got it at 50 plus years old. But did Deion Sanders need a degree to be Deion Sanders? Hell no. He did not. NFL, Major League Baseball, retired, unretired, played for the Baltimore Ravens, TV for NFL Network, one of the biggest brands on social media. All to say, it really doesn't matter that much, but it matters in this context because we're talking about alumni. And me being an academic, or a has-been academic, a failed academic, I dropped out of the PhD program at the University, or excuse me, Oklahoma State. I feel strongly that wherever you got your degree is what you get to claim. He got his degree from the University of Alabama, even though he wore both insignias at the Senior Bowl. He's an Alabama guy. He is a Tide-er. I don't think that's a word. He is a member of the Crimson Tide. I love that he played at Oklahoma, just like I love that Dak Prescott plays quarterback at Dallas Cowboys, even when Dak Prescott can't beat 49ers. I still claim him, but I claim him as, quarterback of my team, not an alumni of the University of Oklahoma. And that's okay. That's fine. That's the nature of the sport now. And I think it's important that we really come to grips with that. But yeah, I got degrees from the University of Tulsa and the University of Oklahoma, and I'll be damned if I don't root for both, just like you should be rooting for Jalen Hurts. Thank you for watching the #1 college football show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you don't miss any of the best college football coverage in America.